Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are joining us from. My name is Kiran Khanvilkar, and in today's webinar, I'm going to show you how you can integrate Power App with Power BI. This is a two-series webinar. So in the first chapter, we will talk about how to integrate Power App with Power BI. And in the next chapter, one of my coworker are going to show you how you can integrate Power BI with the flow, and then some of the tips and tricks in Power BI which you can use. So as I said, my name is Kiran Khanvilkar. I have over 15 years of experience in training and support, mainly into Microsoft Project Server. I also hold MCP certification for Microsoft Project Server, and I have also worked with Microsoft Technical Support Center supporting Microsoft Project Server. Whenever I'm free, I like to travel and enjoy my time with the family. So that's about me. We are Microsoft Gold partner, and we exclusively provide services on Microsoft Project, SharePoint, Power BI, on Office 365. We have done a lot of implementation, and some of our team members have worked on new release of Microsoft Project Online and Project Server for past 3 cycles. We do have YouTube channel. You can find the link for the YouTube channel in this slide. I would highly recommend you to go ahead and subscribe to this YouTube channel, and you can get latest tips and tricks and new features. Also, you can learn from our latest videos and earn some free PDUs. So we do have some upcoming webinars coming up. So as I said, this is the this webinar is divided into 2 sessions. Second session is Power BI with Flow, how we can use the Flow and the Power BI together. And then after that, we have another webinar on how you can use Power BI page-generated reports with Project Online. And then next one is some new announcement on Microsoft Project Online and Office 365. And the last one is how you can do how you can prioritize the project and make the selection of right projects from the portfolio. So in today's session, I'm going to show you how you can integrate Power BI with Power Apps and Planner. Now, to showcase this integration, we are going to create an app, and that app is going to send email to project owner from Power BI, or it can assign a planner task to project owner from Power BI. We are going to do both sending email and assigning task from Power BI itself with the help of Power BI. So before we get into a demo and I show you how to create this app, I want to show you the end result, how the app will look like once we create it. So let me go back and select the Power BI report. So this is the Power BI report which already have the app integrated. So you can see what you see on the right side, bottom right side, the table is not a Power BI visual. It's a Power app where we are showing data from Power BI. So this data, project name, department, overall status, owner name is coming from Power BI. And we are displaying that in Power Apps in tabular format, right? So for example, anyone who is looking at this report may see that there are overall status which are blank for some of the project, right? So you want to communicate to the project owner to enter the overall status for this project, right? And now you can do that right away within the Power BI, right? You don't have to open the Outlook, find out who is the owner of this project, and send the email. And to do that, I have created a small functionality, a send email functionality here in the Power App, which will help you to do that. So let's take a look at it. So for an example, I want to send email for this project, and I'm the owner. So you can see the email coming into my inbox. So let me select this project and click on send email. Now, once I click on send email, you can see the to address is automatically populated to project owner email, which is my email for now. because I am the owner for that selected project. And let me enter the email body here. Enter overall status for this project. Let me click on send. Now, once I click on send, it will send the email and will take me back to the previous page. Now, if I go, let me wait for a few seconds to email arrive. Let me go to my Outlook and check. See, this is the email which I just received from Power Apps, right? So you don't have to open the Outlook, drop the email. You can do it right away from Power BI with the help of Power App. Now let me go back to my report. You can see there's another button, right? So that button will help you to assign a task in the planner plan, in the plans, in the planner app, right? Now let me show you how that works. So for an example, I want to assign some planner task for this project to this owner. So that's why now I have selected that row, and then I'll click on this button. Once I click on this button, it will present me another screen where I can see list of plans available, what are the buckets available in that plans, and then I can fill in the task title. It has already populated the assigned to box with the project owner email, and once I click on create, it will create the task for me. So let's say I want to assign a task in this plan under to do review document, and click on create. Once I click on create, it will create the task in that plan and will take me back to the main screen. So let me go back. I have the plan open already. So if I go back to this plan, see the task is just added. All right. And it's review technical document. You can also add the start date, end date, but to keep this demo simple, we are not going to do that. We are just going to add the title and assign task to the owner. So this is the app we want to create, and we want to add these two functionalities like sending email and assigning the task. Now to do that, we will use a new report, not new report, a report which doesn't have this app integrated, right? So I do have the report here, and in this report, we don't have that app, right? So let's go ahead and create the app and add those two functionality. Okay. So let me go ahead. So this app is all, see this report is already open in edit mode. So let me go ahead and, okay, let me click on edit report. Sorry, this report is not open in edit mode. So let me click on edit report. Now that report is open in edit mode, I can go ahead and add the app here, right? Now our app is not ready yet, right? So we need to first create the app. Now to insert the app in Power BI, we have to use a custom visual, and the name of that visual is Power App. To add that custom visual, you have to click on import a custom visual, import from marketplace. I don't have that visual downloaded, so let's go ahead and import that from marketplace. And then I will search for the app. Oh, sorry, not the app, the visual, Power App, and click on add. See, now the Power App visual is added under my visualization, so I can go ahead and click on add visual to add the visual here. So now you can see the Power App visual is been added. And once you add this visual, the first thing you need to do is you need to add the fields which you want to access in this app. So I want to access the project name, overall status, um, department, and owner email fields in the Power App, right? So let me go ahead and add that from my dataset. So let me expand projects table, and let me select project name. department, overall status, and owner email. Now see, as you once you add those fields, it started connecting to the environment, so it will connect to the environment automatically, and it's selected my default environment, and then it's provided me two options. One is choose app or create a new app. Right now, either you can create a new app or you can choose app from here. Now I always prefer to choose app or create a new app, and I'll show you the reason why I do so. So first of all, let me go ahead and create a new app. And to create a new app, I have to go to Power Apps Studio. So let me go ahead and open the Power Apps Studio. It requires my credentials, so let me go ahead and sign in. And I'm going to create a blank app. You can also create an app from different templates available, right? But I don't want to use any of the template. I want to create a blank app, and I want to use a tablet layout. And then I will show why I prefer to choose an app versus create a new app. So it's doing the background, preparation, and it's creating, yeah, it's creating a screen for you. So this screen is automatically added, which is a blank screen, right? Now, in this app, if I go on the file section, and if I go to app setting, and if I look at the screen size and orientation, see, I do get a different two different orientation, like landscape and portrait. Plus, I can define what size I want for my app. But if you use the new app from Power BI, you won't get option to select the size for your app. You only see orientation, landscape, and portrait. That's it. You won't be able to set the size. So that's why I prefer to create an app and then associate that app in the Power BI. So now, as we have created a blank app, let me go ahead and click on. Okay, one more thing, I want to make you aware of that. See, this app contains only the screen and the app section, right? Nothing is available. But once I associate this app, I will show the difference. I'll show the difference. One major difference which will happen, in this app. So first, let me go ahead and click on File, Save, and give a name. Power BI Power Apps Integration Webinar, and click on Save. Yeah, we want to save this to cloud, not to my computer. So click on Save. Okay, so app is now saved. I don't want to share this app with anyone right now. So as app is saved, let me go back to the Power BI report, and let me click on Choose App. Now, once I choose app, it will show me all the apps available for me to select. This is the app, which we just created. So let me click on this app and click on Add. Now it's giving me a message, save your app in Power App Studio to finalize the data connection. See, it's going to create a data connection between Power BI and the Power Apps. And I will show you that data connection, in a moment. Once, let me go to Power App Studio. It again asking me, to enter the credentials. So it's getting things ready in the background, and you will see, some difference, once we have the app open. Okay, it's still doing some background work right now. It takes a moment, to do this. So I'm getting a message. You already have a Power BI app integration webinar locked for editing in another session, and that is because, see, when I created an app, I did not close that app, right? So that's why this app is still open. But don't worry, now I want to override this session. So click on override, and then let me close this one. This one we don't need it. Leave. Let me go back to this one. It's still doing some background work here. It's setting up the data connection basically in the background between Power BI and the Power App. And now you can see the difference, right? Earlier we had only screen and the app, right? But now we see the Power BI integration, and that is nothing but a data connection, and that contains all the fields which we selected in that control, in the visual, right? We selected owner, email, we selected project name, we selected department, we selected overall status. So all that fields, and that connection, is stored here in this Power BI integration. And you don't have to do anything. Okay, you have to just select the app, and that connection will happen automatically. Now, before I do anything in the Power App, let me go back and save the changes so that this app or visual which we have added in this report will get saved. So let me click on save. Okay, the report is saved. So let me go back to Power App. Now, what we have in this report is a screen, right? A blank screen. Now, what we want to add on this screen is a table with those 4 fields, right, in the tabular format. Now, before it's always good practice, to give a name to all the controls which you have in the Power App, right? And I like to follow the naming convention. Like I want to prefix them by what kind of control, that is. So for screen 1, this is my main screen. So let me rename this to SCRN for screen main. So this is my main screen. And on this screen, I want to display a table with those 4 fields, right? So to do that, I need to insert a control. So I'll click on insert, and then I'll click on data table. Data table is a control which helps you to display records from a data source in a table format, right? So let's click on that. Let me close the data source option for now. Okay, so what items you want to show in this data table? We want to show data from our Power BI integration connection, right? So for the items property for that data source, we need to change it to Power BI integration dot data. So we are associating that connection to this table, data table. And once you do that, you can go ahead and add the fields in this table. And to add the fields, you have to make sure the data table is selected. And from the properties, you have to click on edit fields and click on add field. Now all the fields which you added in your Power Apps visual in Power BI is listed here. So let me select those: project owner, department, overall status, and owner email, and click on add. So remember, we need to show data in a tabular format. Then we need to add 2 buttons, one to send email and one to create planner task. But we will do this step by step. So the first step is just create a table and publish the app and see how it looks like in the Power BI report. So let me adjust the height and width for this table. I want some space to add the icons for email and planner tasks. So let me keep some space on the right. Okay. You can adjust the width for the column. So let me increase the project name. Let me decrease the overall status width. Okay, perfect. Okay, now as I said, I always like to give up use a proper naming convention. So this is a data table, right? So let me change this to rename. Sorry, rename dt for data table project data, right? So this table is showing us the project data. That's why I changed the name to dt project data. Now let's save this app and publish and then see how it looks like from the Power BI. So let me save this. If I go to Power BI, this app is empty. Nothing is available because it had only a blank screen earlier, right? Now we have added the data table and we are going to publish it. Yes, I want to publish this version. Now, as the app is published, let me go back to Power BI report and it's refreshing the app now. Okay, let me refresh the report and yeah, leave the page and reload the page. Okay, it's loading the data now. Now it's loading the Power App. It does take some time, but yeah, it will quickly, it will show us the data now. See, earlier we did not have any data in this Power App, but now the table which we added. See how quickly we added the table in the Power App, did publish, and then we are seeing the data. We are seeing the Power BI data in the Power App, right? And the good thing about this is this Power App visual is working in the filter context of the Power BI. So if I click on any of the filter, the data in the Power Apps will get filtered automatically. Yep, right. Okay, so as we have added the table, we need to now perform the next step. So we are done the step one, which is adding the table and publishing the app. The next step is we need to add an icon for the same email. And once you click on that same email, it will send email to the project owner, right? Now to do that, let me go back to the Power Apps. Let me go back to the Power App screen. And I want to insert the icon here, right? And to do that, I need to click on Insert Icons. And let me find the mail icon here. There you go. Okay. Let me drag it over to the right. And let me change the color of it. Let me set the background, the, the color for this. Instead of blue, we want red. Perfect. Let me change the name of this too. So I'm going to rename this to ICN mail So what exactly we want to do? Once anyone click on this icon, we want to show them a email screen, right? But that screen is not available right now in our app. So we want to add another screen, and we want to add the fields, or the controls we want to show on that screen. So let me go ahead and add the blank screen. To add a blank screen, you have to click on new screen, and you can add a different types of screen. But for our example, we want to add a blank screen, and let me rename this to RN mail. Now, if I go back to the previous example, and let me show you what kind of screen we want. So we want to add a text box to have the email address. Then we want to have a text box to have the email body. Then we want two labels, to display the title for these text boxes. And then we want two buttons. One is to send email and one is to cancel, right? Now let me go ahead and quickly add these controls to this screen. So I want a text box. So let me go ahead and add a text box, text input. And the default text for this is blank. Then I want to increase the font size to 25. I'm just making some formatting changes. That's it. Then I want to add another text box. And this is for email body. Let me adjust the height and width. And I want to make it multi-line. So let me change the mode from single line to multi-line. Let me rename these text boxes. So this one is for email body. So txt email body. This one is for email to whom you want to send the email. So let me rename this to txt email to. Then we want a label. We need to add a label to display the headings. So let me add a label. This one. Let me change the text to 2. Let me change the font size. Okay. Let me copy this. Control C, Control V. Let me add a label for email body. Let's change the name for these two as well. Right click, rename to email to, and this one is right click, rename LBL email body, right? And then we want two buttons, but yeah, but before I do that, let me make the default text for these two blank. Perfect. And then let me go ahead and add two buttons here. This one is to send email. Rename DTN send. Control V, Control C. This one is to cancel and go back to the previous screen. Send. and cancel. Okay, so we have our UI created, user interface created for this screen. Now we need to go ahead and let me change the name of this to uh, btn cancel. Perfect. So as we have the UI created, user interface is ready for this screen. Let's go ahead and implement the logic. So what I want here is from this main screen, from this table, whenever I'm on this in this tables on the screen, if anyone click on this control, I want to show email screen, mail screen right here, and I want to make sure the to address is populated, the to text box is populated with currently selected project owner email, right? Now to do that, you have to click on this control, right? The first thing we need to do is we need to store the email address of currently selected record or currently selected row in a variable so that we can pass that to the text box in the next screen, right? Now in Power App, creating a variable is very simple. You have to use a syntax set, open the bracket, and then it will ask you what variable name you want. So it's var. Here we are creating a new variable, right? So, and the name we want to give is var email address, and we want to store the value in this variable, and that value is nothing but currently selected projects owner email, right? Now to get that, that data is available in ds project data table, right? So I need to use, so not ds, dd project data dot selected dot owner email. So dt project data dot selected will give you the row which has been currently selected, right? And from that row we want owner email, and that we want to assign to variable var where email address, right? Now the good part about Power Apps is you can have a multiple commands or multiple actions for the same, for same event, right? So as soon as I click on this button, I want to set the variable with the current project owner email, plus I want to navigate to the next screen. So for that, if you want to add any additional command, you have to give a semicolon and then type the next command, which is navigate. Navigate we use to navigate from one screen to other screen. So I want to navigate to screen mail and hit enter. Now in the, okay, let me run this and show how it will look like. So to run this or to see the results, I don't have to publish this and go to Power BI. I can see the results within Power App. So I need to just click on this run button, right? And once I click on this mail icon, it's taking me to the next screen, right? The email screen, but it's not populating the to address, and that is because we have not set that variable, to this text box, right? So we have to do that. So let me go back, and the default property by default, in this text box, we want to show that variable value. So var email address, correct? So let me go back and run this from main screen. So say if I have this CHA design project selected, and if I click on this button, it will give me jacquas.gopil at ppmworks.com, because that is the email address for the project owner for that selected row. If I go ahead and select Columbus Library online book rental and click on mail, I will get Laura Crawford, right? So it's working. This is working as we want. So let me close this. Now on this screen, what do we want to do? On this screen, we want the user to enter the, let me increase the size a little bit. Okay, we want, user to enter the email body and then click on send, and that will send email to the owner, or whatever email address you have specified in the to box, right? And that action we want to perform on send button. Now we are going to use a send email action of Office 365 email connection, right? So that's a connection we want to use here, Office 365 dot send email. If I type it here, Office 365 dot, see, I'm not getting any any methods here, or I'm getting a red line, for Office 365. That is because there's a no connection available in my app to Office 365. So in case if you want to use any other app like Office 365 or Planner or any other app, first you need to make sure you need to create a connection, to that app. So to use the same email method of Office 365 app, we need to first create the connection to Office 365. So let me go ahead and show you how to make the connection, how to create the connection. So I have to click on connections, and it will open the connection page. And this connection is for my current environment. And now it will list all the connections which is available for me, or all the connections which I have already created. So see, the Office 365 Outlook, this connection is already connected, created by me. But in case if you don't have that Office 365 Outlook connection, or if you don't have that any connection, which you require, then you have to create the connection. To create the connection, you have to click on create new connection, and then you can click on search option and search for Office, and see, you can see all the connection available for you. And the one which you want to add in this case is Office 365 Outlook, but I already have that connection. To add this connection, you just click on this create button here. I'm not going to add the connection because I already have the connection, and I don't want to create the duplicate connection, right? So let me close this, and I'm going to make use of the existing connections which I already have. So I already have a connection created, right? And I need to make sure I add that connection, in my app. So to add the connection in my app, I have to go to data source here, and then it will show you the connectors. Click on connectors, and then it will show you all the connectors which are available for me, and these are available for me because I have created the connection, to this app. The one which we are interested to send email is Office 365 Outlook. Let me click on that and click on add connection. So you can see now in my app we have this connection added, right? Now if I try to type Office 365, see, I'm getting the actions, for Office 365. So Office 365 dot send email. This is the action which will help us to send email from Power App. Now the first parameter for this is 2, and the 2 address is nothing but the text box, which we have on this screen. So it's txt. See, this is why I like to give the naming convention, so I know whenever I type txt, I'll get all the text boxes, which I have on my on my screen, right? So we have only two text boxes. One is txt email body and one is txt email 2. So we want to use txt email 2 because that's the text box which contains the email address dot text, comma, then subject, what subject line you want. Now in this case I want to add a subject as the project name, for whatever project we want to, we are sending this email, and that data is available in dt project data dot selected, because we need to get the data only for that selected row, dot project name. So this will give us the currently selected project name, and that we want to use as a subject. And for the body, email body, we want to use the data we have in email body text box. So txt email body dot text, and close the bracket. And once I do that, once I send the email, I want to perform one more action. I want to make sure the two uh, the, the two the text box which contains the email address is reset to blank. And then after sending email, we also want to go back to the previous screen, right? The main screen. So to do that, I need to use a reset function to reset the text box, and just type txt, and you'll get both, the text boxes which we have. So we want to clear txt email 2, as well as we want to clear the email body as well, right? Text box. So reset txt email body. So this action will reset the text boxes, and then we want to go back to the previous screen. So navigate, and the screen name is scrn main, and close the bracket, hit enter. This is the action I want to do when you click on send button, right? But once you click on cancel button, what I want to do, I want to again make sure the text boxes are reset to blank, and then we want to go back to the previous screen. So again, I can do a copy and paste here. So let me copy this two commands from here. Control C, go here, Control V, and then navigate to main screen, enter. Now let's publish this and see how this app works from Power BI. So let me go and save this, save, and publish this version. Okay, so as this app is published now, let me go back to the Power BI report and refresh. See, now we don't have that email icon here, right? But let me refresh this report. Okay, so now it's loading my app. And see now the email icon is available here. And then let me, okay, let me send email to myself, so that we can uh, test it out, and I can show you in my Outlook. So click on email. The two text boxes populated with my email address. Overall status to green. Okay, so I know that project is in green. So let the project manager know that please update the overall status to green. Uh, I click on send. See, it has sent the email and it took me back to the previous page. And let me go back to the Outlook. See, the email has just popped up to my Outlook. Please update the overall status to green. So we are done with the first functionality, not the first functionality, I'm saying the, the, the feature, to send the email. Now we want to add a next functionality, which will allow a project manager or whoever, using this report to assign a task in the planner plan, right? And to do that, let me go back to the Power App. Let me close this section. Okay, so we have the main screen, we have the screen for email, and then we need another screen to show the plans and the respective buckets in that plan. So basically we want to create a screen like this. Cancel. We want to create a screen like this to display plans, bucket, and task details, right? So let me go back to my app, add a new screen, a new blank screen. Rename this to SCRN Planner. Enter. And in this screen, I want to use a gallery control to display uh, the plans as well as the buckets. So let me go and add a gallery control, and I'm going to use a vertical gallery. Let me close the data source for now, and let me change the height and width for this control. Basically, we want two of these. So let me, okay, before I add the another one for the bucket, let me make some changes to this one. I don't want to display title, subtitle. I just want to display only title, So let me change the layout to title for this control. It's title. Perfect. And then let me do a copy. Before I do copy, let me change the name for this. Plans. So this is the gallery which is going to display the plans from the planner app. I want exactly the same gallery. So let me do copy and paste. Perfect. Now this gallery, uh, in this gallery, you want to display data from planner, right? We want to display plans name, from our planner app. So as we did a connection to Office 365 Outlook, we need to do a connection to planner as well. Now, in my case, I already have the connection created for planner, but in case, if you don't have the connection created, then you have to go to the connection page and then just add a connection to the planner, right? Now, as I already have the connection created, what I need to do is I just need to add that connector, here by going to data source, connector, and planner, add connection. So it's adding that planner connector in my app now. Okay, it's taking some time. Let it load. Okay, it's still adding that connection. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I don't want to. Okay, let me cancel this. Okay, let me go back to connector, planner, and let me click on this. The connector is already available. Okay, here you go. The connector is created now by the name planner, right? Now I can use that connector to show data, in this gallery, right? So the items property for this first gallery, we want to set it to planner dot planner dot list my plans. So list my plans is a method, which will list all the plans, available in your planner app. So close the bracket, dot value. Perfect, right? Now, if I run this app, okay, sorry, I don't want to run the app, but you can see the data has been populated. That is because the title for this gallery has a property, this item.id, So basically we are displaying the ID for that plan. We don't want to display the ID, but we want to display the title for that plan. So it's title. And now you can see we are getting the different plans available in my planner app. In this control, I want to display the buckets for selected plan, right? And to do that, I need to change the property for this one to planner. Okay. Planner dot list buckets. So we want to list the buckets, and the list buckets method takes the plan ID, right? For which plan you want to display the buckets. Now in our case, we want to display the buckets for plan which is selected in this gallery, right? So the ID is available in this gallery, right? So to do that, we need to use the gallery name. So gallery name is GLRY plans dot selected, whatever row is selected from that gallery. For that row, give me the ID, right? Dot value. Now, again, what I'm getting here is I'm getting the ID of that bucket, right? Which is not I want. Okay, I want to display the name of the bucket. So instead of this item dot ID, I need to change this to this item dot name, right? Now let me add some headings, let me add the headings, for these two uh, galleries. So let me add two labels. insert label. Let me change this to plants, center align. I'm going to change the background color to blue. I'm going to change the font color to white and the font size to 25. And I'm going to make it bold. Perfect. Same way, I want to add a label for bucket. Buckets, right? And now let me run this to test it. So if I click on Power BI, Power App Demo, I'm getting all the buckets available, in that plan. If I click on Sales Supports, I'm getting all the buckets available in that specific plan. So let me close this. So far so good, it's working. Now what I want is whenever I select any of this row, I want to change the color, so that you can identify which plan is currently selected or which bucket is currently selected. Now to do that, I need to change the property of this gallery, one of the property of this gallery. So let me select the gallery, and the property we need to change is template field. Now for this property, I want to change the color depending on the selection, depending on whether the row is selected or not. So I'm going to use the if this item dot is selected. So if this item is selected, then I want to display a different field color. So color dot, okay, I want to display a blue color, right? Comma, I want to display a white color. I want to display that in a white color. So white. Let me copy this because the same formula we want to use for bucket gallery. So let me go back to this gallery. Let me access template field property and set it to this formula. Perfect. Now let me run this app and I can show you the difference. See, if I select Power BI app, the color is getting changed. By default is selecting the first bucket, which is fine. If I click on share, if I click on support, okay, now we know which plan and which bucket is selected. So let me go back to the screen. The next section we want to add for the task detail, right? So to do that, let me add another label. Okay, I'm just making some adjustment to height and width. Okay. And this one is for task details. The heading is task details. Okay. And then we want to enter the task title, right? What task title we want for our task. So let me go ahead and add a label. Let me change this to task title. Change the font size to 25. Let me add a text box to enter the task title. I don't want to display anything by default. Make it 25. Then I want to have another, text box to display the assign to. But before that, let me add a label for that. Add a label. Assign to. Make it 25. And then add a text box. Drag it here. By default, I don't want to display anything in this, and then 25. Okay. Okay. So I forgot to change the name of some of the control. Okay. So before you go ahead, let me change the name. Let's see. I forgot to change the name for this gallery. So let me rename. This is for gallery for bucket. Then let me change the text box name, because this text box, we are going to use in our syntax. So let me change the name. This text box is to accept the task title. So rename txt task title. Then this one is to accept the assign to whom we want to assign the task. So txt assign to. Done. And then I want to add two buttons, to create a task and then cancel and go back to the previous screen. So let me quickly do that. Add a button. Create. Create. And then another button to cancel and go back to the main screen. Let me change the name quickly for these two buttons. This one, rename button, create. Rename button, cancel. Perfect. Okay, so now we have the UI created. Oh, this name is, oh, fine. Okay, we cannot have two, control with the same name. So let me close. I need to change this to cancel planner. Okay. Now we have the UI created for this screen. I think there's an additional text box, so let me delete this. So now we have the UI created for this screen. Now let's implement the logic. So what we want exactly is on this main page, right? We want to add another icon, and once you click on that, it should take you to uh, assign. It should take you to the planner screen, right? So to add the icon, you have to click on icons, and then let's say I want to use this one, add a task. Okay. So once you click on that, what you want to do is you want to first store the email address, right, for selected owner. So set var email address. uh, Sorry, we want to create another variable because we want to use that, to assign to, okay, to assign the task, right? So we are assign to, and we want to store the email address, right? We want to assign the task to owner email, right? So to get that information, we have to use dt project data dot selected, right? Oh, sorry, dot selected dot owner email. Okay. And once we do that, we want to navigate to planner screen. So navigate screen planner. Perfect. So let's run this. Click on plus. See, I'm going to the planner screen, but it's not, populating the assign to with the owner email address, right? So to do that, I need to make sure I set the default property for this to that variable, which is var var sorry assign to. Perfect. Now once you click on create, okay, you want to create a planner task, right? And to do that, you have to use planner connection dot create task. Now it accepts different parameters. The first parameter is plan ID, right? And the plan ID is nothing but available in uh, our plan gallery, right? So GLRY for gallery plans. From that gallery, what row is selected? To find that, we have to use selected, and then dot, we have to use ID. So that will give us the ID for plan, comma. The next is title. What title we want? So title we want is txt task title dot text, comma. The next one is we need to specify the information for bucket, ID, the start time, the date time. Now these are not the mandatory, right? But let me enter, we still want to use the bucket ID and assignment to whom we want to assign. So to do that, I need to open the curly braces and then assignments. Assignments is whatever value we have in the txt assigned to. dot text, comma, bucket ID is available in our second gallery, which is GLRY bucket dot selected dot ID. And after creating a task, we want to make sure we clear, sorry, we need to first close the curly braces and then we need to close the main bracket. And once we do that, we want to reset the text boxes. We want to reset assign to, plus we want to reset title, the, the task title. It's not comma, it's semicolon. Txt task title. And then we want to navigate to main screen. Perfect. Right. And then on cancel, again, I want to reset all the values and go back to the main screen. So I can just copy this code from here to here, Control C, and use that for cancel. Perfect. Now our code is ready to test. So let me go and file, publish, sorry, save first, and then we'll quickly publish this. Publish. Okay, so all changes are saved and published. Let me go to the Power BI report. Let me refresh this report. And let me go to the Power BI demo. Okay, so I already have the task here. Let me delete this task. Now this plan doesn't have any task in it. We will add it from our app. Okay, so our app, our Power BI report is still loading. Okay, it asking me whether you want to allow a permission to use planner. Okay, let me click on OK. It will ask you, the first time. So just click on allow. And now let's say I want to assign a planner task, to Kiran for this project. So let me select that for, click on this button, and then see, now I am getting all the plans. Okay, I want to assign a task in this plan. So let me select that. I want to, sorry, the Power BI demo. Let me check. Let me check. It doesn't have any task. Yeah, this plan doesn't have any. Oh, it has one. Okay, let me delete this one. Okay, so now this plan doesn't have any tasks. So we'll make sure we'll add a new task under reviews bucket from our Power App. So let me click on reviews. So I have selected the plan, I have selected the bucket, and then review. document is going to assign it to Kiran. Click on create. See that create task activity is completed, and it has taken me back to the main screen. Now if I go back to the planner, that task has been assigned and it is under bucket reviews, right? So that is how we can use Power Apps, Power BI, and Planner. Basically, we can use all these tools together and integrate them very easily. Um, so I hope you like this demo. This is all I wanted to show you in this demo. In case if you want, you can revisit to this webinar and go through all the steps again, because we are going to upload this webinar to our YouTube channel. So you can anytime go there and take a look at it again and again. Okay. Now let me go back to the presentation. So we are done with the demo. Microsoft Project Workshop. So this is something we offer to some of our qualified customers. So please let us know in case if you're interested. You can send your inquiries or your questions to our email address at info@ppmworks.com. And in case if you have any questions regarding this webinar, feel free to send email at info@ppmworks.com, and either me or someone from our team will get back to you to answer this question. Thank you everyone for attending this webinar. Have a nice day. Thanks. Bye bye.